I got on the television, they got an ad for dog TV that says celebrate Dogust, right? Like it's August, but they capitalized the word dog, so it's Dogust. Like your dog would fucking know it's August or any other. I'm sure my dog knows the difference between July and December, but I don't think he's got his own calendar that I'm not seeing. I forgot where I was going with that. And it was the class that I don't know what they call it. Gleeking. You like, I don't even know what you do. You put your tongue in a certain way and then smack your cheek. I don't know. It sounds horrible, but it's not. It just makes this noise like a water dripping in a cave, right? It's just some of those weird, stupid fucking things that are probably like so old school they don't even do them on Tic Tac. But back in the day, if you could like turn your eyelid inside out and shit like that. So it was like gleeking. I don't know. Oh, no, I think it was when you shoot. You could do something where you shoot like saliva out of your... I don't know, I don't even want to justify that by looking up the body part. I mean, it's in your mouth. It's something below your tongue. And I think that was gleeking. Anyway, so she was really pretty. All the guys were like, oh, man, look at that wonderful history teacher. And so we went on that trip to Washington, D.C. I don't know. There was like 30 of us. I'll just tell you two quick things about that. Three. My observations, I've been back to Washington, D.C. since as an adult, but I did not replicate that experience. We went to the Smithsonian, and it was fun. It was just also fun. We were so young, right? And it's just like, holy moly. I don't know if I'd never been that far away from home. And went to the Smithsonian. And the whole point of this is like, I mean, history is great, and go and see America and its history and its all that. But I mean, to me, the truest part of the American experience for me in 8th grade was just like meeting other kids from other places. Like we went to the Smithsonian, and I can't remember who I was hanging out with. And we go to the Smithsonian, and we meet this like big group of like 10 or 20 students from, I don't know, New York, right? New York. I'm just going to say New York. I don't think they weren't from New York. They weren't from fucking around here. And it was just funny because it's just, you don't, unless you're a fucking pen pal back then, you don't know anybody. What do you know? Unless you have a cousin who's from like, Florida, you don't know anybody. You don't know anybody except where you are. And so it's funny. I remember I made a joke to these New Yorkers, these kids just like me, and they're like, "Oh, Oklahoma or something," and I'm like, "Oh, it sounds like horses or whatever." And I told them, I was like, "Yeah, we have drive-ins, but we go to them on our horses." I guess I was a liar since birth. I don't know. But anyway, it was all in good fun. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. And the second thing I remember, I'm going to say this 1.1, the thing I remember, I told you I was with that clique. I said his name was Corey. I think his name was Mickey. And he was a tall motherfucker, man. I bet he grew up to be like 6'6" or something. I was hanging out with them, and there was like a kind of cooler crowd that had gone on the trip. Cooler, whatever. I don't know what cooler is. I thought they were cooler. I don't know if they thought they did. Probably. And this girl, and she was nice. I don't blame her. She was just horsing around, but we were at like this cafeteria outside the CIA or something, and she came up and she was like, "Oh, let me take everybody's picture." picture, and she took like 20 pictures of us, like just like sitting there eating sandwiches or whatever, right? But then later she said that she's just joking. She didn't have any film in the camera, right? So, I mean, that's fine. I don't remember. I think her name was Robin. But anyway, I'm sure she's a good gal. And then one other thing, I think the night before we were in, I don't know where Busch Gardens is. I don't know what state that is. It's also complicated up there. Where I live, you know what fucking state you're in. You don't just like travel 10 miles. You'll be like, oh, damn, I'm in another state. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I don't know what state Busch Gardens is in. Virginia? Is that a state? I don't know. Canada? Is that one of them? But one of the chaperones on the trip, they're like chaperones to corral us hooligans. Oh, I'll tell you that too. We almost got stabbed by these hoodlums in the underground of the DC Metro Mall. Like these kids came up and pulled a knife on us. I forgot about that. But anyway, and that one chaperone, and he came into me and my nerd friend's room, like 4 of us in this room, and I want to say the guy's name's Larry. It should be Larry, and I mean that in a complimentary way for anyone named Larry. But I think his name was Larry, and he came in, and this tells you what kind of chaperone we had. And he walks in to like check on us, and he's got like a rocks glass of bourbon and ice, right? And he walks in and sets it. He takes a sip or two. And then he walks in and he's like, honest questions like how you like in history or whatever, in DC. And then I'll never forget this. I mean, so he's in there like 5 minutes, and that drink is sitting there on the desk or whatever when you walk in. And when he leaves, he's like, all right, something to the effect of, all right, guys, well, have a good night. Something, and he glances down purposefully at this rocks glass that still has 3/4 of bourbon and ice in it, and he glances down at it, glances back at us, and then walks out. So, right? I mean, 8th grade, I think I had liquor maybe twice before. I snuck it somehow. But anyway, God bless you, Larry.